What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Hypepod with your boy Willie Jackson. This is episode 3. If you haven't watched 1 and 2, go watch it. But right now, we're going to start off with story time. I'm going to tell you a little story that when I failed at trying my passion for the first time, it didn't go well at all. I completely failed. It was miserable. I did terrible. I didn't do shit, honestly. I froze up. And it was the first time I was in front of a live mic. And it was back in 2016. I think my son was just born. And I was feeling inspired to write something. As I said before in previous episodes, I've always inspired to write and feel music when something happens in my life. So my son being born inspired me. And then the loss of my father when I was 16, I also felt that when I, got my first child, my son. So I was obviously going through something, a happy moment in my life at that point. So what I did was I wrote a song about my father, and it also was about my son. And at the time of writing it, it was my first song that I ever wrote down on my notepad ever. My first time. Actually, I wrote it pen and paper. That's why I can't find it, because it was pen and paper. If it was in my notepad on my iPhone, I could just look that shit up. But right now, it was pen and paper, and I completely lost that paper, which sucks because it was actually a good song. But I wrote the song. I'm reading it over and over again. I'm not rapping it. I'm just reading it. And I'm like, oh, this song's great. Like, shit, let me get a move on. So I started making moves, which was kind of stupid. I should have slowed down, but I didn't. So I hit my friend up, and I was like, yo, come over, because I knew he had a microphone. He had a computer. He knew what he was doing. He has done songs before. So I'm like, all right, at least I could get someone that knows what he's doing. Cool, I should be fine. And usually I'm very confident in everything I do. If you knew me, I was cocky. I was a cocky motherfucker, honestly. When it comes to basketball, skateboarding, it could have been anything. I could play ping pong with your ass. I probably think I'm the fucking best ping pong player there is. Shit, playing volleyball back in high school, I was cocky as hell. But so I was using that same confidence and cockiness to really think I could just hop on a mic and rap and make a whole song perfectly fine, even though I never done it before. So he comes over, right? My first place I ever got, place that was $2,100, expensive. I know that's Long Island, but yeah, he comes over with all his equipment. I mean, he set all this equipment up. I was like, all right, first of all, I didn't think he was doing all this. So when he set up his equipment, I started feeling nervous, real nervous. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go smoke a blunt in the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, smoked a blunt. I thought it was gonna calm my nerves, relax me. Then I could do whatever, because once I'm high, I could do anything I want, right? That's my thought process. I was mistakenly wrong. So I got so high that I got so damn nervous and anxious about the situation, because I'm like, damn, this motherfucker really know what he doing, and I don't know shit. Right? At that time, I didn't know anything about how to make a song, how to produce a project. I didn't know any of that. All I knew how to do was write at that time. I wrote a good song. That's all I did. So when the mic came on, I actually backtrack. When I was smoking that weed, I got so goddamn nervous. I pulled a fucking B-Rapid up in that bitch on 8 Mile. I started throwing up in the toilet. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, that's just so embarrassing. But honestly, I was so nervous I threw up in the toilet twice. And you know what's funny? Not a damn person there knew I threw up either. Or unless I told someone. I probably told one person there, but not one motherfucker there knew I threw up in that bathroom. I made sure of that, because that shit was embarrassing. But I threw up. I was like, fuck, I'm real nervous. But I still had to go out there, because I called this man out here. And he set up all his equipment. I'm like, I can't let this man down right now. I just got to go out there. My dumbass confidence. I was very confident. So I walk out there. Honestly, I don't know if it was a beat playing. We never even discussed the beat, to be honest. So I didn't know what beat was playing, but I have my paper down right there. Just funny now, but it was really embarrassing before. I was super nervous. I had the paper down. I looked at the mic, And he's like, all right, it's a go, record. And I just sat there. I literally froze up. I didn't say a word. I think I said yo. That's it. I didn't say shit after that. I froze the fuck up. I didn't say not one word. He had it recording for about a minute. I didn't say none. I froze up and I was high. So that shit didn't help the situation. And then he just started getting annoyed. He was like, man, why the I come here and waste my goddamn time with this motherfucker? I was like, you know what? You damn sure right. Why the hell did you come here and waste my time with me? Because at that time, I didn't know shit about music. Nothing. It's like, okay, let's just do basketball. First time you picked up a ball, right? You're in like freaking elementary school. You pick the ball up, your ass, you're breaking every shot. You're not even getting close to the rim. Like nothing's happening, but you knew once you picked up the ball, it felt good. You was dribbling. You're like, oh, I like this sport. And you're shooting, but you're terrible. You're absolutely terrible at it. But eventually, those shots start falling. Things start going in. You start getting better. You start practicing. And you start training. All of a sudden, you're getting older. You're getting better. And you're getting wiser. And all of a sudden, you're a great player at that point if you really put the work and time into it. See, that's where I was. I was the kid in elementary school missing all the goddamn shots. So at the time where I tried to record my first song, I was literally the kid missing every single shot, and I was terrible. I was awful. I didn't do nothing. I wish I could take that time back. But what I did after that is what it is. It's the lesson of I went back to the basics. So after the failure, I was like, damn, what do I do now? Like, I didn't never want to write again. I literally lost all interest in writing. I think I focused on my job, my 9 to 5, like, fuck this shit. But as time go on, I tell you, I feel music. So I felt music in me and I was like, I have to write. So I was just writing. All I was doing was just writing and perfecting my writing skills and my craft. See, I went back to the basics. And just last year, I started a little bit about producing beats. I didn't know shit about it, but I gathered my information. I went on YouTube. I went on podcasts. I went on when the producers are making the beats. I studied. I looked. I observed. I watched countless hours. Trust me, so many hours. And eventually, at least I learned how to make a beat and arrange a track and put vocals to it. At least I could do that now. So I don't even need the person to come to my house. I could do it myself now. So that's what I'm saying. Go back to the basics and learn everything from scratch. So now I'm probably the kid that's in high school on his JV team, but he's dropping 15 points a game. I'm at that. That's how I feel right now at this level. But my writing though, my writing is legit. That shit's legit. That's on lock. It's just everything else now I have to figure out, and I'm getting better at it. So this whole is just a lesson to tell everyone, like, when you start out on your passion or something you really want to do, you're not going to be great at it at first. And it's going to feel like you want to stop and quit and never do it again. And, the people around you be like, yo, nigga, you suck. Like, please stop. You suck. But that's what I'm saying. You have to know it, and you have to believe in yourself to make you think you can actually do this. Don't even tell anyone, because they can just gonna make you sound like you're crazy and you're chasing a dream and you just not focus on reality. A lot of people will tell you that you don't focus on reality, focus on your job. Like, what are you, crazy, chasing this dream? Man, there's so many rappers out here. I'm like, I get that, but at this point, it's a passion. It just keeps coming back. And it's been there all my life. So I'm like, I got to go figure this shit out. You know what I mean? I still keep my shit done. I go to work. I ain't stupid, but I'm going to chase my passion at the end of the day. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And to tell y'all, when you become to your passion, you fail at it, and you see failure in your life, don't stop. Just don't stop. Just go back to the basics. That's all you have to do. Go back to square one and go through all those steps, and you'll be perfectly fine. Trust me. You will actually come out stronger on the other end. But I just want to get on here and do a little story time, because that shit was crazy back then. And I was really embarrassed about that whole situation. Honestly, I would say a handful of people know about that story. Maybe max 8 people, the people in that room that day. and probably 3 people I told. But other than that, I didn't tell that story. That shit's embarrassing. But I want to show you an example of how you can overcome failure, because I felt terrible that day, awful. But now looking at me, I'm speaking in the mic for anyone to listen to. So it's kind of weird as you see it that way. But you know what? If you can't handle the hype, step out the pod. I'm out. Peace.